Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. An absolute pleasure to be with you here in Venice. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I absolutely love your movie, so I'll say that first. But for people who haven't seen it yet, can you give us a brief intro in your own words? What can people expect when they come to watch In Cabo Suelto?
Well, we are just in the moment that we don't know exactly what will happen, but we expect the public experience the situation of the character, the his behavior like a kind of brother or like our child inside us that is asking for a little bit for an embrace in this survivor situation or something like that.
The first thing that strikes me about the film is it resists any kind of easy categorization. So at one point you think maybe you're in some kind of crime thriller. At some point, are we in a comedy? There's a romance thread. There's a road movie. Did you set out with an intention to have this kind of genre mix, or was it more the character itself and the setting that was your first inspiration?
Yeah, it was the character and that situation, the inspiration, the first image that I have that I had was this character with a dressing of a cop dress, trying to camouflage. It's like a camouflage to survive, and in a place that he don't live and he don't know, and that image was the beginning. And I think that mixture of genres is a product of the nature of the character. I mean, I was not trying to do a comedy or a road movie or a Polish thriller. I just let the character and the story express itself.
And how did you come up with this sort of journey the character goes on? Was there any kind of autobiographical element to it? Because I guess he's in this very specific situation going across this border, but there's probably some universal themes there of us, perhaps where it can be in a moment in life where we're searching for something else, we're searching for our identity, searching for love. So perhaps there's some themes in there that you're expressing through the story.
Probably is something autobiographic in the aspect of transit, of the transit of the character between one place and another, and the frontier. Yes. I'm an Uruguayan man that is living in Buenos Aires, Argentina for a long time. So I cross this line too much times, and each time I felt a kind of mixture of illusion, for melancholy, for fear, because you don't know what is in the other side. It's absurd, but it's always happened that, and I think it's a kind of metaphor also about these times where you don't have empathy in general in the world, and this crossing this line, this frontier for the character is a kind of illusion of know something new and get this kind of embrace he's needing.
And each of your characters that he sort of meets along the way, they have such authenticity. So perhaps these are people you've encountered that have sort of been absorbed into your story, and that kind of atmosphere where at first there's, you know, a barrier between them, maybe a sense of, oh, you're not from around here, are you? And then in each instance, there's a softening. So perhaps there's something in that really, even when we feel like we're foreign to one another, we all ultimately are human.
Yes, I think the main character is meet some kind of soul brothers that you can imagine and like dream that you can meet in this life, and that's not easy, and he's completely lost in the beginning because he don't know exactly where he's going, and then before he realized that he have an opportunity, he's trying that. He's his new feelings person that he's meeting. So before he realized that, he's involved in this new world, and trying to adapt himself and burning inside this new illusion. Yes.
And to bring you into the conversation, when you read the script, what jumped out to you about this character and how did you approach playing him?
Lo que más me gustaba del guión cuando lo leí por primera vez es el recorrido y la transformación de este personaje, ¿no? Este recorrido en donde empieza y a dónde termina, sentía que había un arco ahí que era muy interesante. Y en relación a la preparación, bueno, con Dani pudimos ensayar bastante y trabajar sobre todo en el aspecto de tratar de que este personaje, que en definitiva es un policía, que está vestido de policía, de alguna manera pueda llegar a generar empatía, ¿no? Con estas personas con las que se empieza a encontrar, con este nuevo mundo posible para habitar. Entonces era trabajar un poco en esa transición y tratar de que naturalmente ir descubriendo una nueva posibilidad de estar y de vincularse.
I wonder if one of the aspects that you worked on a lot was the comedy and the tone, because it's quite subtle often, but the character has a lot of wit and charm. For example, when he's in the gas station talking to the woman, you know, they have these puns on words, etc., etc. So was the comedy a key part of nailing the character?
Entonces, me parece que también el guión está muy bien escrito, entonces hay algo de esa comedia que es sutil, que está colocada ahí, pero también hay algo de este encuentro de dos personajes que aparentemente difícilmente se encontrarían en un lugar, ¿no? Casi como si dos elementos distintos o distantes se encuentran. Yo creo que hay algo de la comedia, de cómo se organizan esos elementos y cómo empiezan a estar juntos. Algo como que la comedia aparece naturalmente, no hubo una búsqueda en la actuación de la comedia, sino que es más confiar en que nada, este personaje puesto en diferentes situaciones iba a generar eso de alguna manera.
It's quite like a British type of humor, this sort of deadpan. And, you know, there's like the awkward silences, but within those silences, there's also a connection happening. So I wonder if you had kind of that influence from British comedy, or maybe it's something that's also there in your culture too.
Yeah, I love your reference about British comedy. Of course, I admire that kind of humor you mentioned, that silence that are talking more than words, and of course, when is something hide in the characters, you just have to try to let these things appear, like like a sculpture that you are. You know that is something down the character, and you just have to let these windows to appear that sense. And yeah, of course, I like the tension of the comedy and the uncomfortable of the characters in those situations. Yes.
And I wonder if there's even more, probably, you know, people from Uruguay or Argentina will pick up, because there must be lots of sort of very culturally specific moments that, you know, we wouldn't latch onto, we wouldn't notice. So of course we're going to find some bits that are universal and some bits that people from your home country are going to pick up much quicker.
Yeah, that's probably that in Argentina and Uruguay we understand some jokes, subtle jokes that about our difference, small and subtle differences, but at the same time, I think nobody understands too much about those differences, because when something appear, if you are Uruguayan, you are not noticed about some difference, and the same at the opposite. I mean, I think, because I'm all the time going from one side to other side, that maybe I'm the only one that laugh about those subtle things. Yes.
The way you drink mate is the total giveaway.
Yeah, the mate, because yeah, of course, I always see that difference, but you have to go to both sides to understand. So I probably nobody cares about that.
British people in the way you make tea. It's like the equivalent, right? And maybe you could tell us a bit about the shoot itself. I mean, there must have been so many fun moments because you do have this kind of ensemble cast of all these different characters. Did you have a favorite scene to shoot?
I find funny some things that I try to hide when I'm in the monitor seeing the scene, because I don't want to disturb the concentration of the focus on the reality, on the truth of the performance. So probably I find very hilarious some things that I don't know, maybe when he's in the car with German, the Herman, the other character that is driving. I found very funny what he does, and with Nestor Gusini, the other actor, also with Diego de Paula in the Factory Cheese, with the Mandrake Wolf. Well, with Pilar Gamboa, the actress that performed Rocio, when he go inside the free shop and ask for her a bag and go to the toilet. That absurd things for me are very funny, but probably just for me. But as I can see, you find funny something, so I'm very happy.
Igual no sé si tengo como una escena favorita, sí pienso mucho en la escena en donde él llega al free shop, el encuentro, que es la primera vez que la ve a Pilar, el personaje, ¿cómo se llamaba?
Rocío.
A Rocío, se encuentra con Rocío. Sí me parecía una escena difícil en algún momento. A mí me gustan mucho las escenas que son más complejas. Sentía que en poco tiempo tenían que pasar un montón de cosas, que se estaba escapando, se tenía que un poco, nada, tratar de empatizar, tratar de conquistarle en algún punto también sentir que había llegado a un lugar que le daba un poco de paz. Todo eso en el aire acondicionado, la belleza de Rocío. Qué mal. Sentía que esa fue una escena que me gustó mucho hacer, compleja, pero siempre la recuerdo como una escena que me parecía que estaba buena, porque se cruzaban un montón de cosas para actuar al mismo tiempo.
And finally, because I think I'm almost out of time, a question for both of you. What do you hope people take away from watching the film? Because I think, I was saying before the interview, sometimes you're at film festivals, a lot of films you watch can feel quite heavy and weighty, and there's a lightness to this movie, an optimism, let's say, perhaps in human nature, and finding connection. But, there is this sort of duality to Santiago's journey, because there's all this possibility of finding a new life, but there's also something dragging him back, perhaps, that it is impossible to completely erase your past. So what do you think people will come out the cinema thinking about or feeling?
Es cierto que uno encuentra películas con temáticas más densas. Yo creo en cualquier caso que lo interesante es la complejidad que pueda tener un personaje y las personas humanas retratadas. No siempre la densidad nos muestra esas contradicciones humanas, y mi esperanza, mi ilusión es que los espectadores entren en esas diferentes capas, sin la fórmula de decir este es bueno, este es malo. Es un personaje que nos invita a cierta experiencia incómoda, porque es imposible no quererlo, y al mismo tiempo, se manda cagadas. No sé cómo decirlo de otra manera.
Espero que le guste mucho. No, y espero también que, no sé, para mí una película que de alguna manera habla de tener nuevas posibilidades constantemente, y algo de lo que sí me gustaría por ahí quizás que el espectador se quede pensando que siempre, en cualquier tipo de situación, la salida siempre es otra persona que siempre puede estar ahí, ¿no? Como en el vínculo que se resuelve, que la vida se resuelve en el encuentro con otras personas, digamos.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Huge
Thank
congrats. And
you.
I loved the running gag about Matt Damon. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Our
Yeah,
Matt
yeah,
Damon.
Matt Damon.
I can't wait for everyone else to have a chance to see it. Thanks so much. Muchas gracias.